Bre Nicole is a multimedia personality working in front and behind the scenes. She founded a blog site called InsideTheGirlsRoom.com the fall of 2014 while studying family life education and communications at Western Michigan University. During her senior year at WMU, she received a full-ride scholarship at Specs Howard School of Media Arts for Broadcast Media. Bre Nicole developed a love for writing and radio at a very young age. At 16, she joined her high school's radio station, programming music and co-hosting a radio show called The Urban Way. After graduating high school, she received an internship at 1440 WDRJ-AM, now WMKM. That landed her an official job with the station. Bre Nicole has also interned with Oso Radio as a blogger, hosted on a TV show called 7 Miles to Belle Isle Reloaded, and was a production intern for the Blaine Fowler Morning Show at 96.3 WDVD, Cumulus Media Detroit. She is currently an on-air radio personality for 96.5 in Lansing, Michigan.
Welcome to the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and this is the show where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. And today we are talking with one of my favorite young people. Her name is Bre Nicole. How you doing, Bre?
Hi, Kai. Oh my goodness, she just said I'm one of her favorite young people. That just caught me off guard. How are you?
I am fine. I have been watching you. You are totally amazing. Now, during the intro, your bio is read. So we know all about you, the things that you've done. But who is Bre Nicole at her core?
Who is Bre Nicole? Bre Nicole is this bubbly, energetic, just energy spirit who loves hard, has a real calming, soft spirit at the same time, and it's just all about people. I just love being about people. I'm a people person, so.
Yes, you are. I met this young lady over a year ago while I was hosting a show on urbannationradio.com, and she was interning. She was so busy trying to help me with my show. That whole day was kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. But I love the fact that you were very dedicated to what it was that you were doing. You didn't flinch. You didn't oh my God, what's going on, this crazy show, what's going on? But you did not. You held your own. And ever since then, I've really been watching you. I've watched you on Instagram. I've watched you on Facebook. And the whole amazing thing about you is that you're so authentic.
Wow.
You really talk about your life with your audience. How easy or how hard is that?
I think once diving into my core of who I was, it became easy because we all go through so many different issues. And social media, we try to hide a lot of those issues, but it's life, we all go through life, and if I can be relatable to my audience, I feel like that brings people into me, and I can also dive into who people are as well. So amazing. I told you guys, she's amazing. You are so ambitious. Thank you.
Who does the whole just go for 2 degrees at one time? So let me just get all the degrees right now. Who does that but you? How hard was that?
Oh gosh, it was so hard. I used to cry at night, literally God, how am I going to do this? My my college advisor actually told me, this was my college advisor at Western. She told me that you're not going to be able to graduate. You're not going to be able to do this. You have to prioritize. And if it wasn't for my parents actually telling me, no, you can do anything that you set your mind to, then I probably wouldn't have been as passionate, because so many people try to, detour you from what you really want to get.
Right.
And my college advisor was one of those people. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And one of the people who should not be.
Right.
Should be encouraging you to do whatever it is that you set your mind to do.
Right.
How crazy is that?
Yes. It's super crazy.
Well, you have, you're the founder of Inside the Girls Room.
Yes.
You also have an agency, a nonprofit agency called Saving Our Sisters. where did the idea for each of those come from?
Wow. Saving Our Sisters, so that got developed in 2012 with me and a group of other young ladies from Western Michigan University. I had pretty much just came out with my story of sexual molestation as a child. No one in my family knew. Once I turned 20, I just felt like it was time for me to share because I was dealing with so many different chaotic relationships in my life. I was dealing with a guy who pretty much wasn't treating me the way I should have been treated, and I found out that this was the reason why I kept getting into these relationships, was because I wasn't dealing with my childhood issues at the core or root of it. So that's how Saving Our Sisters became a nonprofit. So we talk about healthy relationships. We try to prevent domestic violence and sexual assault, and pretty much just go around the community expressing that, because if you don't have a healthy relationship with yourself, you're not going to have a healthy relationship with anyone else.
True. Very true. Very true. I remember on Facebook, I do believe, or either Instagram, one of them, you posted some pictures of, I don't know if they were actual pictures of you being abused. Were they actual photos?
I did a photo shoot. No, they were not actual pictures of me being abused. But to share a story, I was dating a guy back in high school. Crazy, now we are like kind of friends. Now he moved all the way to Texas, but we went through a lot of up and downs in our relationship, and like there came a point where he actually threw a bottle at me. Wow. And the relationship got physical and abusive. And I think being as teens and young adults, you don't really know how to really voice your concerns about a relationship. Like, I was never taught about healthy relationships, and because I didn't deal with the root of my childhood issues, I didn't know how to pursue a healthy relationship. And because of that, like I said, that's why I kept getting in and out of these just emotionally damaging and physically damaging relationships. So yeah, we broke up my freshman year in college, and once I healed from that, we talked about it. We talked about our relationship and some things that hurt both of us, because I did some emotionally damaging things to him as well, which we don't talk about as women, how sometimes we can hit below the belt when it comes to things. So I don't want to blame everything on him. As humans, we have to recognize where we are at fault sometimes, while also recognizing that, hey, this is not okay on both parts. So
I told you guys she's amazing. I told you guys she is amazing. We are going to take a break, and we're going to come back because she has such an amazing story, and we have to hear everything. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Focus One Entertainment is Detroit's premier entertainment company, but we're not just an entertainment company. We are your #1 multimedia resource. Focus One has combined years of talent and experience in order to bring you what you're looking for in a video, a polished professional product. F1 Entertainment specializes in filming workshops, seminars, and corporate presentations. More and more businesses are utilizing video production services to create web virtuals, online marketing content, and promotional and corporate training videos. Your company can do the same with Focus One Entertainment. Contact Focus One Entertainment at 313-444-3638 or visit us on the web at www.focusoneentertainment.com.
The Get Naked movement is about keeping it real by addressing those issues we want to keep on the hush, but it's necessary to talk about in order for us to heal. So join the movement. #Get Naked.
And we are back. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and this is the show where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. And today we are listening to the story of Bre Nicole. I am so glad that you are here.
Oh, I'm
so
glad you guys invited me.
Most definitely, most definitely. You are one of the most, not only are you amazing and you're ambitious, but you are very thought-provoking as well. Some of the things that you talk about on Facebook are truly topics that a lot of people need to hear and be a part of. I'm going to talk about one thing in particular because the fact that you're young, you're 24 years old, you're a Christian, you're a woman who's on the go, you're out here in the world, you are making your mark. How hard is it? Because I know that most people, most of your family probably are saying, okay, so when are you going to settle down? When are you going to get married? But yet and still you have this whole career that you're not chasing, that you're actually walking into. Right. How hard is it to just not settle down and say, okay, well, I'll do my career later?
It's hard. It's hard because you do want someone who's going to be supportive, that is your significant other. But I'm at the point where it's like, if it's not right now, I know it's going to happen one day. So I don't really try to think about it as much because I know I have like tons on my plate that I need to finish. And instead of being so focused on that, I just think about how I can give back to the world and how I can also be a coach to other young ladies who may be going through the same things that I'm going through, as far as like, well, what's wrong with our men in this generation type of thing, you know. But at the end of the day, if you love yourself, and I think Big Sean said this in his song, if you love yourself, you'll never be alone, period. That's and so I mean, you're born into the world by yourself, you die by yourself, so in between that time you have to figure out what it is that you're going to do. Very true, very true. My mother used to say that all the time. I think that was one thing that allowed me to be able to walk into spaces by myself, because she always said that you're gonna die. You were born alone. You're gonna die alone. So you know, get used to the fact of being by yourself, which was a very good thing that she had taught me. How hard is it in walking the steps that you take, and you're trying to make a name for yourself, but yet and still you're still, you know, just kind of, your career is just kind of budding? How hard has it been for you? Wow. I've stumbled through a lot of different people who pretty much made broken promises for me, and you get caught up in that lifestyle. Even if I'm not in LA, you know, I'm in Detroit, but even in Detroit you have a lot of people who say, yeah, I'm gonna look out for you, yeah, I'm gonna do this, but at the end of the day, I know I'm responsible for my own career and I'm responsible for my own decisions. So you have to be connected with what it is that you want to do and not be fooled around what's going on around you, pretty much. So it's been difficult. It's been really difficult, especially when you look at different, for example, news agencies or radio stations that say you have to have this many years of experience, and it's like, wait, I just graduated, you know, like, can I at least just kind of, you know, prove myself that I have this work ability. My work ethic is crazy, you know, and I think that's really what it comes down to, is your work ethic. If you have the strength to get it done, you're gonna get it done. So amazing. So right now you have started working for which radio station? Power 96.5. So it's out in Lansing, and it's a McDonald broadcasting company. I've been there for, it'll be a month now. Really? So, congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations. I wanted to be able to say that in person. Thank congratulations. You. Thanks. You have literally been working so hard. In the aspect of working hard and trying to do the things that you need to do, there are young women out here that would say it's so hard and I don't know where to start. Where was the starting point for Bre Nicole? Wow. Okay, so starting point with, I'm gonna do Inside the Girls Room. Starting point for that, I was bored out of my mind in one of my summer classes. Like, it was just like, why am I even here? You know I need this class so I can graduate, but I just literally started writing on my laptop. And from there, like, I just had all these crazy ideas and just started jotting them down on my laptop. So we have notes in our iPhones for a reason. Use those notes. Anytime you think of a thought, just write it down, because you never know where it may lead you. And that note actually helped me progress inside the girls room as a blog site. And from there, I'm creating a business plan for it so I can establish it as the official LLC. So it's so many things. God has given us all gifts, so utilize those gifts before you die, because if you don't, what are you gonna say to him?
Right.
Like, what can you say? So yeah.
You and we're gonna go back to the fact that you were creating a business plan. Most grown-ups don't even know that, as a business owner, that you should have a business plan. And I know that you were in school and they probably, taught you some of those things. But even in the aspect of being out here in the business world and having some of that knowledge, what are some of the things that you can share with our audience that you needed to have in your business plan?
Number one, just doing all the homework. You have to have a marketing plan. A lot of times we can have all these great ideas, but if you don't market it accordingly, you're gonna fail when it comes to the business in general, because it keeps you on point. You don't want to be scatterbrained or, any of that. And a business plan actually keeps that together. You also have to have, I'm doing everything right now. You have to have, it's just strategy in general, like everything from the marketing, your demographics. You have to know who your demographics is, because let's say you're let's say you're selling clothes, right? But okay, you don't know your demographics. You don't know if your demographics is a 15-year-old girl or a 35-year-old man, then you're gonna fail. And a business plan, it maps all of that out for you. It even maps out your financial projections that you actually need for, like, it says 5 years, map it out for 5 years. And I think that's perfect, because you never know where you may end up within the next 5 years. And most businesses fail in 5 years. So
very true.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we're going to take another quick break, and we will be right back. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we are back. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann. And again, this is the show where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. And we're here with Bre Nicole, and we're listening to her story.
Aww.
Listen, you have been, you're still very young, but I believe just by watching you in this year that you are transforming into an amazing young lady who has a bright future ahead of you. Not just a bright future, but I believe that it has been defined and crafted. You really work hard.
Thank you.
You do. You really work hard. How often do you get sleep? Like, seriously, how often are you sleeping?
You saw my eyes with that. Oh gosh. And you know what? My mom and I just had this conversation because she's like, you need to sleep. And I wrote a blog about this too. Like, if you want to be the best, get your rest. And even sometimes I don't take my own advice when it comes to that. But I get about 5 hours of sleep a night, which is, it's not great, but it's not bad. So, and my body does tell me when I'm tired. And always listen to your body when it comes to that. If you're tired, you're tired. And that's your body letting you know. So,
in the business that, you know, you're going into, and most people who are in that vein of walking through success, there are certain morals and codes that they have for themselves. What are some of the codes that you have for yourself?
I really believe that what's for you will be for you. So never give up your morals in general. My core belief system is I don't have to sell myself to try to make it at all. I actually had a conversation with an on-air personality out in Chicago. His name is Shaggy Nice. He does Power 92.3 out there. And we had a conversation. He told me no matter how long it takes you to make it in life, never give up on who you are as a person, and never ignore the signs around you, on top of the fact of just holding on to yourself, because a lot of people pretty much they lose who they are trying to chase the fame, the money, the glory, and all of those things. So I always know that I'm in my purpose when I feel good in my spirit. If I can go to sleep at night, I'm doing good. If you can't go to sleep at night, and you have all of this chaos, all this negative energy around you, then that's something in the universe telling you that you're not doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, that's what I hold on to.
Good for you. We also talked a little bit before we got started about the whole, when you first just get started, and how people see you out here. You're taking pictures, you're doing all these different things, you're on these shows, and you're just out in the universe doing your thing, but people see the side of it that's glamorous. Talk to our audience a little bit about that.
People always see the glamour life. For most of the stuff that I've done, I have not gotten paid how I was supposed to get paid. Even now, branching into radio and being an on-air personality, I won't tell you all my actual pay, but just know I'm not getting paid how I should be getting paid. And I mean, a lot of that comes from just, being fresh and being new, and working your way up in the industry. So when you're pretty much solidified in the sense of seniority, then yeah, you can start asking for different pay raises and having a script on how much you want to get paid. But right now, starting off, you're not going to get paid anything pretty much. So hence why I'm still back at home with my parents. But I mean, hey, I'm being real about that. People see the luxury, the glam. Even when I was out in LA, a lot of people don't know, but Hollywood is in the middle of the ghetto. It's in the ghetto, and that it shocked me, because I'm like, wait, these people, they're living luxurious, but no, it's all about your work ethic and your grind.
Right.
So
most definitely. And you are a grinder.
Oh, thank you.
You are a grinder. Where did that work ethic come from?
Ooh, I really have to give credit not only to God but to my parents. Every day since I was a youngin', I've seen my parents wake up early in the morning and go to work. You know, even if it was something that they didn't like, that's what they did. And I always vowed to myself that I will always love what I do. So if I love what I do, I'm gonna grind 10 times harder, you know, for it and fight for it. So yeah.
Well, we're going to take another break.
All
This
right.
is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and we'll be right back.
Focus. The state or quality of having or producing clear definition. Focus One Entertainment is the premier videography company in the Midwest. We specialize in weddings, corporate events, documentaries, sporting events, and films. Regardless of the scope or budget, we approach every project the same way, by capturing and clearly defining your vision. Contact us at 313-444-3638 or www.focusoneEntertainment.com.
And we are back on the Conversations with Kai Mann show. This is the show where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. And today we are talking with Bre Nicole. We were talking during the break, and I was telling Bre Nicole that even though she's really young, she has this grind about her. And you can see that she's doing all these different things. Most people have a team. Do you have a team?
I don't have a consolidated team. I will say there are people that I bond with, that I connect with, and we're all pushing each other to do great things when it comes to media. And I will, you know, call those people out. So Christy Love Media, Direal TK, Gina Graphics. So it's all of these people that are building their brand that we help, like, you know, with each other's brands. But like, technically I don't really have a production team. I don't have a marketing team. So I do all of this pretty much by myself when it comes to it.
And that's amazing because, and it's good. It's good that you do, because then you learn all these different aspects of the business.
Right.
So when that you are able to get that marketing team or that production team, you have done every single job within that particular field. So you know what it takes to get something done.
Yes.
So kudos to you for even, you know, still hanging on and doing that, because a lot of people get frustrated in the fact that I have to do everything. I'm doing everything. I'm the marketing, I'm the production, I'm the promotions, I'm the gifts, you know.
Oh, literally.
And I talk about that a lot, because I have a company where I work with different personalities and different people. And I believe that the person who actually is the gift, that you should be able to function in your gift.
Yes.
In order for you to be able to function properly in your gift, there's other things that have to happen as well.
Right.
How effective have you been able to be in your gift?
With landing this job at Power 96.5 as on-air radio personality, that has done tremendous things for me. I've been able to be just the personality, you know, and it's been amazing. Even with marketing inside the girls room, I'm technically the head creative content director. So I come up with my own content, and that's helped, because in radio you have to come up with your own content, you know. Like, a lot of people think that radio is easy. It's not. You constantly have to do the research. And I remember Pagion actually saying this. It's everlasting research when it comes to breaking stories. You can't say something that happened yesterday for a Today Show, because it's already old news.
Right.
So it's not really going to benefit for your audience. And you have to know your demographic. I can't talk about country music on a hip hop station.
Right.
It's just not going to work. So it's helped me tremendously, and I believe I am working in my gifts right now. So.
Awesome. You are not only this young woman who is coming into your own, but how about some of the things that have happened to you that maybe share something with us that has happened to you that has given you maybe the greatest value or the greatest lesson that you've ever learned?
Wow, that's a hard one, right? Because so many things have just happened in general, but I can talk about recently. We can be so judgmental, especially in being Christian and walking in a Christianity faith. So one of the things, actually two of the things that happened to me, I was on Facebook. And I actually wrote a blog post about this. It was about drinking alcohol and holier than thou Christians and all of that stuff. If I was to be judgmental of the Christians that were judging me, then people would have looked at me in a different realm. So I'm always mindful of what I say, how I say it, and why I say it now, especially even on social media. And sometimes it's hard now, but it's the greatest value that you can learn in general is just not offending people, because we all live different lifestyles. What I struggle with may not be something that you struggle with, and vice versa, and you have to be mindful of that. Another thing is just recently it was a teen conference called Grit, Glam, and Guts. Had an amazing time. That was in Lansing. Our young people deal with so much. And when I was young, I was always told, oh, you're not dealing with anything. You're not an adult. You don't have any real problems. You're not suffering with anything. But if I was to say that to the young people that I was dealing with, they wouldn't be able to connect with me. And we have to always be able to connect with anyone we're reaching to in general, because there's just so much going on. And there were so many young ladies just sharing how they were suicidal, how they were depressed, how they had all this pressure on them to be perfect. And those were some of the things that I was dealing with. So to be able to connect with them, like at that level, being 24 now, is just so powerful and was a great value too. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, we're going to take our last break and we will be right back. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and we'll be right back.
One of the things I've dealt with was low self-esteem due to body image. Growing up, I thought I was a cute girl, but it wasn't until I was 11 or 12 that I noticed I wasn't built like the boys necessarily liked. My friends teased me for having a flat butt and a flat chest. Ultimately, this bruised my esteem. Did you know 44% of schoolgirls attempt to lose weight compared to only 15% of boys? And did you know 70% of girls ages 15 through 17 avoid normal daily activities, even like going to school, just because they feel bad about their looks? This type of negative self-thinking usually follows us into adulthood and affects our interpersonal relationships. It wasn't until I fell in love with me and accepted me for who I was that changed my life. Think and speak kindly of yourself. Join the movement. #Get naked.
Welcome back. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show, where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and I'm sitting here with Bre Nicole. I'm telling you, we have some great conversation during the breaks. And we were talking about a story that you were getting ready to write. Actually, what I was talking about, I asked you if you watched reality TV.
Yes.
And my producer, he was stating that because I said that I was trying to watch Love and Hip Hop, and he said that was one of the worst ones. Tell us what your response to him was.
I think Love and Hip Hop is not necessarily a bad concept once you have a different approach to it. Mm-hmm. As a writer, I like to do different analysis on different television shows, especially ones that have to do with the Black family and the Black community, because that was one of my majors at Western, was family life education. And I think the thing that is misinterpreted when it comes to Love and Hip Hop is pretty much they lack communication. They lack healthy dialogue with one another's families. And I came from a blended family. My grandmother, she was married 3 different times, and none of her husbands had a problem with one another at all. Our families never had a problem with one another. It was always good energy, positive vibes, and just we treated each other like we were family, even though we weren't blood related, but we, the way we interacted with one another, we were, and you would have never been able to tell us anything different. So when it comes to Love and Hip Hop, I think the issue that I have with it is the fact that it's portraying every Black family to be pretty much chaotic and hectic. I mean, we all have problems in our families, no doubt, but there's a way to handle situations, and if you have good, healthy communication, then a lot of that can be minimized in general. Mm-hmm. So.
Now, by you being a young woman, and you're also in the world of media, and you're watching these different shows to do the analysis, like you said. But then, of course, I know some of it is in entertainment, and most of us, we love entertainment. Right. How often is some of the things that you see on reality TV that are actual real life issues with some of the people in maybe society today?
Right. Before I even touch on that, I think one thing we really need to touch on is entertainment and media is done for ratings. Mm-hmm. Without ratings, these people don't get paid at all. It's all about the ratings. Even the way TV and radio is structured based off commercials. So this is how the television networks are getting paid. To come back to what you were saying, it's going on a lot. I don't know if it's because it's being portrayed more so on social media now instead of reality TV, but I see a lot more disturbing things on social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I see the mothers and fathers bashing each other on Facebook a lot, basically telling the audience their problems that are going on in their relationship. And I personally think that that's not okay. It's okay to tell your story, but do it in a way where it's not humiliating anyone, because when you're doing that, that's just pretty much hidden below the belt. I think as men and women, we need to take responsibility and accountability for our actions and how we treat people in general. If you're not in a healthy relationship, acknowledge the fact that it's something going on in that relationship and do whatever it is in your power to try to let go of that relationship. So, yeah.
What do you think is the real issue? And I ask this question because most people who are in these relationships. A lot of times we don't know what healthy means.
Right.
So what would you say is the real issue?
I think sometimes seeing it in your household, for example, if you grew up in a household where, you know, your mom was always hitting below the belt when it came to your dad and belittling your dad, that can be an issue. Or if your dad was doing those things to your mom and your mom just felt like she didn't have any power or any control in the relationship or marriage, that can be an issue. So seeing physical violence in the home, that's definitely an issue, as well as not having a father figure or a mother figure. You know, sometimes we talk a lot about the fathers, but sometimes, like, your dad, me being a woman, my dad can't teach me how to be a woman. I need my mom to teach me how to be a woman. My dad can give me the love that I should, you know, expect from another man, but sometimes it's not even that for our young women. Sometimes our young women aren't getting what they need from their moms as far as how to be a woman, how to be respectful to yourself, you know, how to be respectful and love yourself as well. So I think all of those things are issues, as well as sexual molestation, you know, happening in the family that no one really wants to talk about at all. So yeah.
Well, what I would love for you to do is to leave us with something that's near and dear to your heart. Share something with us that's a part of Bre Nicole.
So I live by this this motto, or did I say it right? Motto. There we go. Okay. See, I'm getting tongue twisted. I live by this motto. It's called, gosh, what is it called? Life is a long journey. So, and the way I hold that dear to my heart is, whatever you're going through in life, never let that discourage you from your passion and your desire, because we're all going to go through turmoil, we're all going to go through different trials, but as long as you have a clear conscience of where it is that you want to be, you're going to get there no matter how long it takes. So life is a long journey, and just, you know, go with it. Never discourage yourself, because a lot of times we have negative self-talk with ourselves, and that can discourage what it is that we're doing as well. So
well, you are definitely someone to watch.
Thank you.
I look forward in the future to see where it is that you end up. I'm excited about you. I'm totally excited about you. But what I really want you to do is to share with our audience where they can reach you, how they can connect with you, all of your social media, everything.
Alrighty, so Instagram is at Bre_Nicole J. Facebook is Bre Nicole J. For Inside the Girls Room, Instagram, Inside the Girls Room, all one word, as well as on Facebook. And Saving Our Sisters, Instagram, SOS_Saving Our Sisters, and Facebook, SOS Saving Our Sisters.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'm so honored that you came.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome. You're most welcome. This has been a segment of Conversations with Kai Mann. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and thank you for joining us, and don't forget to join us next Wednesday.